is not coming for your job. What is changing is how decisions are made and how early those decisions take shape. Before we go any further, I want to say this clearly. If you are a leader trying to understand how artificial intelligence is affecting real decisions inside of your organization, this channel is built just for you. We take these topics and explain them in plain language without the hype and without fear. That kind of conversation is useful to you. I invite you to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the next part of this series. Hi, I'm Andrea Abbott, founder of Abbott Media, and this channel is here to explain AI, automation, and how real decisions are made throughout organizations trying to adapt to AI. The AI shift is going to be super easy to miss because it's not going to arrive loudly. There's not going to be an announcement that things are different. Instead, the way choices are formed starts to change quietly, often before anyone notices. Across South Carolina, leaders are hearing about artificial intelligence more often than ever. Many of them are preparing for a future where machines replace people, where software just simply makes things faster, and where automation reduces your need for staff. And that way of thinking is just so familiar because it mirrors the early technology changes. It feels safe because it fits patterns that leaders have already seen before. But the real shift is going to be much quieter than that. Artificial intelligence is moving closer to the moment where choices are actually happening. It influences how information is presented, which risks rise to the surface, and which options receive attention first. When those things change, leadership responsibility also changes, even if no one formally names it. That is the part of most organizations that's underestimated. And that is what we need people to start talking about. To understand why this matters, it helps to be clear about what AI actually is. Artificial intelligence is often described as if it had a mind of its own. But the idea creates confusion. AI doesn't think the same way that people think, and it doesn't understand meaning or purpose on its own. It has no sense of what is important unless somebody is describing that for it. At a basic level, AI looks at the information from the past and notices patterns throughout. When something new appears, it compares that situation to what it's already seen before and offers a suggestion of what might happen next. Because this process happens quickly, it is often presented in a polished way. The output can feel confident, and the confidence can sometimes be misleading. Confidence is not the same as judgment. Judgment still belongs to the people. The shift we are living through is not about removing human judgment. It's about where the judgment begins and how much of it is influenced before a person ever steps in. When the leaders miss that distinction, they prepare for the wrong changes. This shift is easy to overlook because it does not come with a dynamic turning point. There is no single moment where everything suddenly feels different. Small changes build gradually, and over time, people become used to seeing recommendations, rankings, or suggestions without thinking much about it and where they even come from. Eventually, the system starts to feel natural, and even though it was shaped by a human's choices from the very beginning, this is the point where leadership attention matters the most. And it's also where many capable leaders lose the threat. Most leaders who struggle with AI are not careless. They are experienced people who have led through many waves of change. They expect that this one is going to behave like all the others. In the past, new systems were about efficiency and scale. Leaders focused on costs, timelines, and ownership. And that approach worked because the tools handled the task. AI does more than just handle the task. It shapes decisions. When leaders treat AI as just another tool, they focus on implementation speed instead of influence. They move forward without first defining what the system should support and what it should never control. That gap between intention and impact is where the confusion begins. Buying technology often feels like leadership because it creates a visible movement. Meetings happen, plans are written, and updates are shared. From the outside, it looks decisive. Inside of the organization, something different starts to happen. People adjust to their own behavior based on what the system highlights. They trust what appears first and assume it reflects on leadership priorities, even when those priorities were never clearly defined. Later, when the outcome does not match the values, leaders are often surprised. In reality, the system does exactly what it was designed to do. It followed the signals it was given, even if those signals were unintentional. This is why the challenge is not technical. Technology teams are essential, but they are not responsible for the values, the priorities, or accountability. These responsibilities often belong to leadership, whether they acknowledge it or not. When leaders step too far back, the organization fills in the gaps on its own. Over time, processes harden, assumptions settle, and decisions drift. This is not happening because people are careless. It happens because systems shape behavior when direction is unclear. South Carolina, this matters in a very real way. Organizations here are closely tied to their communities. Leaders need to stay present and visible in how decisions are guided. When leadership remains engaged, technology supports trust. When the leadership fades into the background, trust erodes. This state does not need louder innovation. It needs steadier leadership. Trust depends on understanding. People do not need to know every technical detail, but what they do need to know is they need to understand why decisions feel different. When explanations disappear, people fill the gap with assumptions. If leaders cannot clearly explain how systems influence outcomes, credibility weakens, even if the technology itself is sound. It builds slowly, interaction by interaction, and AI accelerates that process. One way to think about AI is to imagine a helper that can read very quickly and recognize patterns across many examples. That helper can suggest ideas, but it does not know what matters unless somebody clearly explains it. If it learns from poor examples, it repeats poor reasoning. If no one checks on that it works, small errors turn into habits. In an organization, leadership is responsible for teaching that helper what matters and stepping in when the suggestions no longer feel right. That responsibility cannot be handed off. AI rarely causes obvious problems at the start. It changes behavior gradually. Over time, these changes influence routines, and routines shape culture. By the time leaders feel uneasy, the system already feels normal to everyone else. At that point, change becomes harder, not because it's impossible, but because the habits feel comfortable. Paying attention early prevents disruption later. The most important work happens before any system is even deployed. Leaders need clarity about which decisions truly matter and which ones must always involve human judgment. They need clear ownership for outcomes and a shared understanding of how technology fits into the organization's values. When that foundation exists, AI can be gradually useful. Without it, even the best technology creates confusion. The moment we are in is not about being first or being loud. It's about being responsible. AI is not replacing leadership. It will reveal it. Leaders who stay engaged with how decisions are shaped will build stronger and more trusted organizations. Leaders who step back too far will spend years trying to regain clarity. If this conversation helped you see the AI shift more clearly, then this channel is doing what it was meant to do. We are building a series here that focuses on leadership, decision-making, and the responsible use of technology in the real world. If you want to continue this conversation and follow the rest of the series, I invite you to subscribe to the channel so you do not miss what is yet to come. Until next time, I'm Andrea Abbott, founder of Abbott Media, and I will see you in the next episode.